Hello, party people. How's it going? I just decided on the moment to do a pre-recorded video on ARVN because what I just found out I think is pretty interesting. So here's the deal. We all know that there's two major shareholders in ARVN. It's eCore1 and it's RTW, I think it is. I'm not focused on RTW, I'm focused on eCore1. So eCore1 owns 9.9% of the company plus another 5% or so in pre-funded warrants. Pre-funded warrants are the exact same thing as stock. They struck at 1 cent, and the reason why they do that is they don't want to go above 9.9%. When I first looked at this, I thought eCore1 was a venture capital investor, and they've owned this for years, and they probably had a position in putting some of these board members on 5 or 6 years ago. I just assumed that because I didn't think they were a hedge fund. I was wrong. So I went and looked at the proxies over the last 4 or 5 years. eCore1 did not develop a 5% position in this until the 2023 proxy. And in the 2023 proxy, it says that they had 5.5% of the company as of like February of 2023. We then know between February of 2023 and the proxy in 2024, they took that position from 5.5% to 15%. And a lot of that was done through a secondary offering that was done at the end of 2023. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. What else do we know about eCore1? Well, we know that they sometimes do go activist. They filed a 13D on GLPG last year, and the founder of eCore1 is on the board now of GLPG, though I think they've sold out of their position since then. So we know they're not going to sit idle, and we know that they're way underwater on this position. But what did I just find out now that blew my mind? I went to eCore1's website and I looked at their employees. And next to the founder and portfolio manager, it goes by alphabetical order. And the next guy over is a guy named Adam Shayowitz, who's an operating partner. And I opened up his bio, and it says that prior to joining eCore1, he was vice president at Pfizer Oncology with various development leadership roles across breast cancer, prostate cancer, colorectal cancer, and melanoma. So then I thought, wow, that's incredible. This guy was an executive at Pfizer and then joined this hedge fund. I figured he probably joined the hedge fund like 5 or 10 years ago. I then went to his LinkedIn, and on his LinkedIn page, he left Pfizer in September of last year. And his last job at Pfizer was vice president, head of product development teams, portfolio and program management. He was, quote, responsible for early and late stage product development teams, portfolio and program management across Pfizer Oncology. Okay, this is crazy. So when he joined eCore1 as a senior operating partner in September of 2024, he intimately knew all about this partnership with ARVN and knew about this drug. He was responsible for, or one of the people responsible for the trials, okay? Now, who knows whether he was bullish or bearish or whatever going into this readout in February. You can make an argument that he might not have been walled off and because it was a blinded trial. And as soon as he joined in September, he could have told them, you should blow out of this position. I don't think that Pfizer's that interested in this drug, and I think the drug is going to fail. They did not obviously blow out the position. They didn't sell any of it. They have the same position in September as they did at the end of the year. And I assume as they do now, though they haven't filed since December 31st, of course. But what this means to me is that this guy knows intimately the value of this drug to Pfizer. He was at Pfizer as recently as September of 2024. He knows internally what he thinks the drug is worth to them. And he can make a reasonable guess of what they're going to do going forward with this drug post these trial results. He also can get on the phone with ARVN and he could tell them, listen, I know Pfizer, at least when I was there in September of 2024, looks at the drug like this. And you guys have incredible value to capture here based on what Pfizer thinks this is worth. ARVN can't look at eCore1 just as another hedge fund, right? They have an operating partner that had a senior member of the drug team as an operating partner on their hedge fund. So hugely bullish to me. We don't know what they think or what he thinks about the drug post this readout. We don't even know what he thinks about the drug in September of 2024. It's reasonable to assume that the head of this hedge fund and this guy knew each other well before September 2024. We know that they didn't start buying Arvinus until 2022 or 2023, most likely 2022. And they didn't make it huge until between February 2023 and the end of 2023, right? That year is when they made it from 5% to 15%. So full takeaway here, eCore1 is massively underwater on Arvinus. It's one of their biggest positions, even when they're this underwater. They own about 15% of the company, including the warrants. They will have a say in what happens here. And they are not shy of going activist if they think that a board is not doing the right thing. So I love having these guys on our side. I continue to believe that Pfizer is excited about this drug and will go forward with these combo trials and potentially with commercialization of the drug. There's a lot of reasons why I think that, but I'm not going to get into them on this YouTube. It's just I have strong conviction of it, and I love the stock. So it remains one of my favorite ideas right now. While I have you guys here, Springworks, let's see what happens on Monday. Obviously, nothing has changed there since Tuesday. Every day we don't hear something, to me, is still we're going up, up, up in that bell curve probability of a deal happening to me on the next day. And we easily could hear something on Monday. I don't know whether the EMA is going to approve their first drug in Europe next week. If it's going to be approved next week, clearly that's close enough to waiting a few days for them to sign a multi-billion-dollar deal to make sure that they do get approved. If it's going to be approved at the end of April on the next meeting, I don't think that's a gating factor. And if I had gun to head right now, I would say it's going to be a deal between $70 and $80, given the amount of time it's taken and the likelihood we have at least one other bidder, maybe two other bidders. That's it. Party people, have a great weekend. Rosen out.